Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weekly Wednesday Facebook Live crafting show. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, and it's currently just after 2 p.m. my time. So wherever you're watching in the world today, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really happy to have you here. I'm just going to take a moment to make sure that, make sure that I am live in the right place and that technology is on my side today. And I'll give people a few minutes to get on before I get started. So welcome. Please comment, say hello, tell me where you're watching from, and tell me what you're up to today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm just going to get this all set up on my computer and then we will get started. I still haven't mastered being able to see comments once I flip the camera down, so I'm trying to get better with that, but you'll have to bear with me. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining, and thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Hi, Brenda. Hello, Anne. Hi, Jenny. I'm seeing people pop on. So I had heard that it takes a little bit of time for for this to show up in your feed. So that's why I talk a little bit at the beginning, because if I get started with the crafting right away, you might miss some of it. So here we go. I'm going to post that. Okay, so hello everybody. Nice to see you all virtually. I have to say, I'm getting more and more comfortable doing these Facebook Lives every week, and I actually get really excited about them because, especially right now, given that we're all, still socially isolated, well, most of us, I would think, I feel like this is like my chance to hang out with you guys every week. So I'm happy that you're here, and I'm grateful that you take the time to be here with me. And I'm hoping that once school is done, which means work is done for me, my day job work, that I might be able to do them a little bit more frequently and we can hang out and craft more, because it's a lot of fun. So let me tell you what we're going to do today. So if you're new to my weekly Facebook Lives, and they're not that old, I've been only doing them for about 3 or 4 weeks, what I try to do is create some projects and show you almost from start to finish what it's like to create those projects. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to feature just one sort of bundle of products, and I'll continue to do that today. And we're playing with a really, really cute stamp set, and the description might have given it away. And so I am going to be showing you 3 projects using one stamp set and kind of a few coordinating products. And you can actually get the materials for those projects for free. Once I flip you down, you will see on my grid paper that there is a website where you can shop. So everything that we're using today is available from the annual catalog. There's also a host code. So when you go to checkout, if you enter in that host code, and I'll post it in the description as well, then I see that anyone that's placed an order that qualifies for the amount will get has used that host code, and you will actually get the projects mailed to you. So all you'll need is your own stamps and ink and your adhesive, but I will send you the actual materials, so the cardstock, the embellishments, and that kind of thing, so you can actually make the projects as well. So I'm going to flip you down shortly and show you that, but I'm going to first start with a few announcements. And I actually have like sort of flyers for them, so maybe I will flip you down now and I'll show you kind of everything so you can read it without it being mirrored, okay? So please continue to comment. If you know of people that you think might enjoy this, I would love for you to share the video, and I will absolutely be drawing for a prize at my next Facebook Live. So if you are sharing this with your friends, then please indicate below that you have shared it, because due to privacy settings, sometimes I don't see when something has been shared. So share the love, and I'll be doing a draw for anyone that shares the Facebook Live at my next week Facebook Live, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to flip you down and try to look away because this is not fancy. I'm just going to literally cover the screen and flip you down and get positioned, okay? So give me a second. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. And that does look a little bit high, but hopefully you'll be able to see. If at any time you have trouble seeing, then you can definitely comment, and I will keep checking the comments, and hopefully we'll be able to adjust if needed, okay? So hello everybody, and again, thank you for joining me. As I mentioned mentioned earlier, that all the products that I'll be using in today's projects can be purchased from my website. Here is the host code. If you place an order of $50 or more using that host code at my website, you will get free make and take supplies. And if you order $50 or more, you will get the free make and take supplies and a free embellishment from the new annual catalog, okay? So let me share some announcements with you. I've talked about this for the last couple of weeks, but I want to make sure that you know, if you are interested in joining Stampin' Up! And getting a discount on your product and getting a really good deal on a bundle of product, then this is the time to join Stampin' Up! And join my team. And so what you would be able to do is choose $165 in product, anything that you want, and you pay $135, no tax, no shipping. And if you join in the month of June, you also get to add in a free bundle of your choice. So it could be a stamp set and coordinating punch, or it could be a stamp set and coordinating die cuts or framelits. So this is a really good time to purchase the starter kit, and there's no obligation. If you're worried about having to do classes or workshops or Facebook Lives, there's no obligation whatsoever. You can absolutely just join for the amazing deal and the discount, okay? So time is running out. We're down to less than 2 weeks. This ends on June 30th. So if you're thinking about doing that, and if your wish list is kind of growing, then absolutely this is a good time to do that. The next thing that I want to share with you is we have a huge promotion right now. It's called our annual catalog kickoff celebration. This is also ending on June 30th. And what this means is that if you place an order of $300 or more, you're going to get an additional $30 in free product. So normally with a $300 order, you would already get about $30 in free product. For the month of June, Stampin' Up! Is sweetening the pot and adding on an extra $30. So if you don't feel like you want to place that order yourself, because it is a big chunk of money, you could get your friends together and put an order together, and then you could still qualify for the $30, and you could split that, or if you're the host, you could absolutely keep that and enjoy shopping with that. So that's ending June 30th as well. And what else? Okay, so the In Color Club. This is something that I'm doing for the first time ever. Our In Colors in the new catalog are possibly my most favorite ever. So we've got Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. And so the color combination is amazing. They work really well together. They also work really well individually and with our other Stampin' Up! Colors. So I just thought this set of colors was too good not to do an In Color Club, because to purchase all of the products that are offered, and there are tons of them, would cost you upwards of $300. So what I'm doing is putting together a club where basically you'll get a selection of products each month in a particular color, and you will be able to accrue and kind of slowly accumulate the In Color products without having to spend money and buy it all at once. So just to give you a sense of what it includes, I've got a sample here, and I'll keep the flyer so you can see what I'm showing you. So the first thing that this includes is 10 sheets of assorted cardstock. So instead of doing all of the same color cardstock, I'm doing it assorted, because once you start getting your In Colors, you're probably going to want to use not just one color, but multiple colors in your projects. So you'll get 2 of each of the 5 colors. You'll get 10 colors every month. So by the end of it, you will have 50 sheets of cardstock, okay? So 10 of each. And then you'll also be getting the ink pad, which I'll just show you here. So it'll be one of Stampin' Up's new designed ink pads in the color of the month. You'll also get a roll of the ribbon. Now these are currently on back order, so if your kit ships out before they come back in, I will send you this after, but you'll get a roll of the coordinating ribbon. You'll also get a Stampin' Right marker. So again, each of the colors come in have a Stampin' Right marker in that color. You'll get one of these. You will also get 20 enamel dots. These are also unavailable right now. So when they come in, you'll get 20 of these each month. So again, by the end of it, you'll have almost a full pack. I think you might have a full pack worth of the gems, but you're getting assorted colors. So again, you can start creating projects and using multiple of them. You'll also get the Stampin' Blends combo pack. You will get 2 memories and more card bases and envelopes. There's only one shown here, but you'll actually get 2 of these in your color of the month. And then you'll also get 10 sheets of designer series paper. On my flyer, I had put 8, but it's actually 10. So you're going to get 2 of each of the colors. So again, you'll start to accumulate that, and then by the end of it, you'll have lots and lots. And then you'll also get the Stampin' Blends combo pack. I might have already said that. You will also get a free embellishment. So each month you will get a free surprise embellishment. And so when I'm putting all the orders together, then I will be ordering the embellishments and sending them to you with your hand stamped color of the month card. Okay, so it might not look exactly like this, but it'll be pretty similar, or maybe I'll change the design up, but you'll get a different card each month in the color. Okay, so it's a great way to get some inspiration and some samples, and then you can recreate the project because you'll have a lot of the materials available to you. Okay, so that is that for the In Color Club. I want to talk to you really quickly about our new adhesive. So Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus are amazing. I've been using Stampin' Seal quite a bit, and actually we'll be using both today because one of the projects requires a little bit more of a solid stick, so we'll be using the Stampin' Seal Plus. These are now both available. You would purchase the cartridge once, and then you can replace it with a refill. So this is what the cartridge looks like. And then when your tape is finished, you would just open this up, and then you remove the refill and you put in a new one, and then away you go. Okay, so just so you know, if you do purchase this and you need to replace because you've run out, don't buy the whole new thing. You can just buy a refill. Okay, so that is that. And what else do I need to tell you? Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna get started. So I am going to start by showing you the projects that we're making today, and we are featuring the Zany Zebras Stamp Set. You might have seen that in my description. I love alliterations, and so I called it Zara's Zany Zebras because there are not many things in the catalog that actually start with the first letter of my name, so I am quite enjoying that. Of course, I don't own them, but I do really love them, and my daughter is going gaga over them as well. So this is what we're going to be designing with today, and I'll show it to you in the annual catalog. So it's on page 104 of the annual catalog. It's called Zany Zebras, and there are 11 stamps, and you guys know I love a combination of images and sentiment, so we've definitely got that in this stamp set, and they're just the cutest. When I look at cute stamp sets, I worry that people will think, oh, I can only do that for kids' birthdays, but you know what? This is so versatile, and I would give this to any of my adult friends and family. So I definitely love this stamp set. What I also want to show you is that it is also available in our Make Beautiful Things brochure. And this particular brochure has some carefully curated bundles of product that will allow you to make cards quite simply. So these are great, these are really great actually for people that are beginner stampers. If you've never stamped before, then the products in this particular brochure are definitely going to enable you to be successful and be able to stamp right away. So they've also featured the Zany Zebras as part of a bundle here. So they've shown you some cards here, and then the list of products is on the right page. And this includes everything that you would need to be able to make these cards. So these actually are using Whisper White cardstock, so you would need something to cut your paper with, but I will be showing you some cards using just our pre-cut and scored note cards and envelopes, so you could absolutely substitute for that and still be able to make really cute and super simple cards. So this stamp set, again, in this particular bundle comes with a block, cardstock, black memento ink, watercolor pencils, and then Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so again, you'd have everything that you need to be able to make those cute cards. Oh, Michelle, I'm glad that you were able to get a new seal. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to show you is the coordinating products. Sorry, when I say coordinating, they don't necessarily coordinate with the zebra stamp set, although I think they absolutely could. They're just fun and funky. So this particular suite is called Playing with Patterns, and it has in it a stamp set and dies, which we won't be using today, but it's got amazing paper, and it's got enamel dots and resin dots, and then it's got the most fantastic ribbon. So I'll show you the designer series paper because we're going to be using a few of the patterns here. So I've created this, I call it a DSP sampler, designer series paper sampler. So designer series paper is basically our patterned paper. and it's double-sided. And with this particular paper pack, it is a 6x6 pack, and so there are actually 12 different patterns double-sided, so you get 24 different patterns. So what I've done here is I've shown you what the front and back of each of the patterns look like, and then these are the coordinating colors here. So this just gives you a little bit of a sense of what the actual papers look like, and then I'll flip it over because this is the other side. So because there are 24 different patterns, I had to put them on both sides. So this is just a little view that you can have into the different patterns. So you can see there's lots of versatile. They're good for male, female, adults, kids. The color combination is great. So and then there's just some that are a little bit more subtle and less kind of intense patterns, and then there are some that are a bit more bold. But I love that they've got the navy in here because I think it coordinates so nicely with all of these different colors. So it's quite a fabulous paper pack, and it coordinates really nicely with the ribbon combo pack. So this looks like a bit of a mess right now. But we've got 3 different ribbons in here. We've got Coastal Cabana. This one is Purple Posy. You can tell I've been using them. And then this one here is a Night of Navy ribbon, okay? And this one's a lot thinner. So they're 3 different widths, and all 3 of them work really nicely, are quite easy to work with and tie in bows and things like that. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to show you the different projects that we're going to be making today. And they are super, super cute. If I do say so myself, we're going to be doing a tiny little note card. I'm going to just move the stamp set out of the way. So we're going to do a tiny little note card. And then we're also going to do a larger, like a full-size A2 card. And then I'm going to show you how to make the cutest little box. So these are our new mini paper pumpkin boxes. So if you've ever gotten paper pumpkin, a lot of people love to reuse the boxes to package and put gifts and things in. So Stampin' Up! Just went out and created mini paper pumpkin boxes. So I'm going to show you how you can use this. And these boxes can fit all sorts of different treats and trinkets, but they also perfectly fit our note cards and envelopes. So I'll show you how that's going to work, okay? So let's get started with this little note card. It's super easy to make, and I've already cut out the materials for it. So this measures 6 by 3. If you watched my Facebook Live last week when we did the Whale of a Time suite, I did another little note card. So this measures 6 by 3, and you'll actually see in the Stampin' Up! Catalog that they have done a lot of cute little 3 by 3 cards. So let me just get my supplies ready, and we can get this card made, okay? So before I lose my little pieces, I'm going to actually stick my designer series paper down. So I have cut this at 2.5 by 2.5. And actually I'm using my Seal Plus, but I'm going to switch over to my Seal. I don't know if you can see in the video, but this has little rectangular pieces. So they actually are split. So what happens then is that it actually comes apart easily. So in one of our past adhesives, it would kind of, when you would lift it off the cardstock, it would actually, the tape would stretch and not break off easily, and that caused a lot of problems. So that's why they discontinued Fast Fuse, and then they came out with Seal Plus. But I am going to switch over to my Stampin' Seal. And so this one is just a little bit less sticky than the other one. They both work really, really well. So you might have to just kind of go with what you think your preference might be. Okay, so let's stamp this cute little guy. So we are going to use this little zebra here, the one that's kind of looking back a little bit. And I'm using black Memento ink, and I'm just going to stamp this in the middle of the circle. These dies that I'm using are the Stitch Shapes framelits, and they are among my favorites. I've had them for a while, and I continue to use them often. So that's actually one of the ones that we're going to be using a lot. And then this particular die here is from the Tasteful Labels dies. And this is a new set of dies that have come out, which is becoming one of my new favorites. And it's just, they've just got a bunch of different label shapes and styles. And so it's really, really nice for being able to put your sentiments on. So now that I've got that stuck down, I'm actually going to just put a couple of strips. And what I like to do with my ribbon here is I want to start it this way, and I just want a little bit showing at the back. Sorry, yeah, a little bit showing at the sides, okay? So I'm going to just flip that and then just weave it behind the little zebra. And I'm just gonna grab my paper snips and cut that off. And then I'm going to stick this down with some dimensionals. What do you guys think of this so far? Isn't he so cute? This stamp set will lend itself quite nicely to coloring if you want. So you could darken the stripes on the zebra if you wanted. But it also is really nice just in black and white. So that is gonna go right there. And then I've stamped my sentiment. Now, I don't want to pop this on dimensionals because I'm actually going to stick it on the part that's already popped up. So if I were to add dimensionals to that, it would just be a little too three-dimensional for me. So I'm just going to stick that on like so. And I'm going to grab the little resin dots. And I'm just going to say hi to a few people that have hopped on. Hi, Nija. Hi, Rebecca, Virginia, Rowena, Betsy. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. So we're just starting to play with the zebras. And I'm totally in love with this set. I'm in love with this suite of coordinating products. So the resin dots are sort of a matte finish. They're not high gloss, which some of our other enamel dots are, which I love about this. So they're not overly sparkly or shiny, but they add a really fun pop of color. So this guy is ready to go. And there we also have the cute little 3x3 note card envelopes. And so you can stamp something on here. Maybe I'll stamp a little party hat to give it a little bit of a coordinated look there. All right. So that is the first card, all done. And we're going to move on to the second one. Okay, where is my card? So here is the card and here are the pieces. So I actually left the sheet upstairs, but I actually printed out a picture of the card sketch that I use because this is how I often design cards. I will actually search on Pinterest or Google for card sketches. And, oh, thanks, Anne. Yes, I always think of you when I stamp the envelopes because of your hashtag no naked envelopes. So what I did actually for this particular card was I found a card sketch. And so if you haven't used card sketches in the past, it's a fantastic way to find a layout that you can copy. So the card sketch is literally like a line drawing and it just showed me a rectangle with a shaded strip in the middle and a circle in the center. So there was no pattern or anything on it, but I took that layout then, and then I decided to create a card like this with the products that I was using. So layouts are really, I just find they really help with designing, at least for me. And then I can just pick the products that I want to use and then duplicate that layout. And see, I've gone back to my Seal Plus here. And just gonna stick this down because if you've watched my Facebook Lives before, you know that I start to lose things after a while. So this particular piece is cut, let me measure it. So it's cut at 5.5, so it's the entire length of the card base, and then I've cut it at 2 3/8, okay? So the designer series paper is 2 3/8, and then the Night of Navy piece is 2.5. So it's just 1/8 of an inch wider. Can you go see if your daddy's available or your brother's? Need something?
Am I going to Mandy's now?
At 4 o'clock you're gonna go, okay? All right, so I'm taking this cute little, so I often love to emboss my cardstock, but with this particular card, I'm just using the little star stamp and I'm using Highland Heather ink. So you could do Versamark. I think I showed that a couple of weeks ago to do a tone on tone effect because we don't have Purple Posy ink. I'm just going to scatter some of these. And just to create, I don't have to stamp in the middle because my designer series paper and the cardstock is going to go in the middle. So I'm just going to try not to smudge this, but stamp them a little faster. So you can create your own cute little background with the stamps that are included. You could also stamp zebras all over it if you wanted. So that's the background, and now I'm going to stick this on to my card base. So that's going to go in the center, more or less. Okay, and then let's stamp our little zebra. So where is my little zebra here? Okay, so we've got this, and then I want the party hat, and I need my happy birthday. Okay, so I'll stamp him down. Again, you can see I've just used the stitched circles. I'm going to stamp, so I used the actual designer series paper with the Tasteful Labels dies. So instead of using cardstock, I actually took one of the more solid patterns of the designer series paper, and then I cut that out and I'm stamping right on that. So it just has a little bit more kind of texture and depth to it. And I'm going to stamp my little party hat guy onto a piece of scrap paper. And then I'm going to hope that I can cut this out without making too many boo-boos. Before I do that, I'm going to just color it in. So I'm using Coastal Cabana and Dark Purple Posy Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to color the hat like so. And then I'm just going to color the inside with Pool Party. So I'm using Dark Pool Party. We don't have Coastal Cabana blends, at least not that I'm aware of. And so, but the Dark Pool Party gives it a sort of a similar look. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna cut this out so there are no dies that will cut out this little party hat, but it's small enough that it won't take too long. Almost done with this one, and then we'll stick this on. I think I'll probably use a glue dot for this. Oh, I should probably take. The paper snips are amazing. They are definitely not your average scissors because they have kind of a short and really sharp blade. They lend themselves really nicely to getting into those little corners to get a really nice accurate cut. So let me stick the zebra on. I'm going to put 4 dimensionals on the back here just so that it's not sagging anywhere in the middle. And toss that aside, and we'll put this in the middle here. And then I'm going to use a glue dot to stick on the party hat. What do you guys think so far? Isn't he cute? Oh, I just love him. Okay, again, I'm going to stick this right onto, actually, I think I might use some mini dimensionals, and I'm just going to put them close to the bottom of my sentiment so that I can just stick it just underneath where I've stamped the zebra. So again, I don't want to give it too much more pop, so I'm just going to stick that there. And then I'm going to grab a piece of the ribbon and tie a bow and stick this on with a glue dot. So my little trick is I keep the knot kind of loose until I can make the loops the size that I want them to be. And let me just trim this a bit. And then we'll stick that on with a glue dot. So this is almost done. I'm just going to embellish with some of the dots. And I think I'm just going to use actually I might use a couple of Coastal Cabana ones here. And maybe I'll put another Coastal Cabana one down here. There, so it's got a really nice coordinated look to it. So what do you guys think of that one? Hi, Dale. Thanks for joining. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, so we are moving on to the last project. I'm just going to clear up this mess a little bit because I'm going to make room for the mini paper pumpkin boxes. So I don't know if any of you have gotten these yet, but they are fabulous and really easy to use and really, really cute for gifts and little surprises. So here's the finished project. And here's what the boxes look like when you get them. So they are in a large package like that. They come in a pack of 10. I can't remember the price of it right now, but I can check that for sure. So these are the mini paper pumpkin boxes. You can see that mine is a different color. So this, I didn't purchase it like that. And I'm gonna show you really quickly how you can get the color on that. So some of you might have already done that before. I don't actually use my brayer often enough, but that is the tool that I've used to be able to create the color on here. So I did some of it already because it did take a little while, but I wanted to show you how you can do this. So I left part of it empty. So I'm taking my Coastal Cabana ink and I'm just going to put that aside here, and I'm gonna just take the brayer. So I think you get 3 different sponges. I think you get 3 sponges in the package, so you can change up the colors. And then I'm gonna start by rolling a little bit off here, and then I'm going to go on to my box. So the reason that you roll that off a little bit on your paper first is because you don't want to get kind of like streak lines on your box. And then you definitely want to have some scrap paper underneath because you can see that the ink is definitely going to transfer onto your surface. So I'm just doing this on my grid paper. And I'm sure it probably helps to do it in one direction, but you can go in kind of a diagonal pattern just to blend a little bit. The first one that I did, I was finding I was getting some blotches. So, but I think once you kind of finish it off, you can't really tell. It has still a nice color to it. So, and then you can just look to see if there's any little white spots, and then you can fill those in. And then that's pretty much it. So that's how simple it is. You just need a brayer, and it's really quite easy to do. And like I said, I definitely don't use that very often, but definitely when it comes to being able to color our boxes, that's a great tool to have. I did try it with sponges, but I found I was not getting an even blend on there. So the brayer is definitely a good one. And you can get a really nice kind of ombre look going. So if you wanted to darken part of it, you could start really light and then go do a couple more layers and even more layers kind of to get that ombre look. So I'll show you how to assemble it. You definitely want to fold along all of the score lines before you start assembling, okay? You're going to fold everything. These little ends are going to tuck in like so, and then you're going to want to fold these. So I would love to hear what you guys might use these for. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to use this for, but I would love to hear some ideas of what you might put in here. They are food safe, so that might kind of get the wheels turning a little bit. The inside is lined and it is a food safe lining. So once you've got everything folded, you're just going to tuck in these flaps. And then these tabs here are going to go into the notches here. So you may have noticed I didn't actually mention it when I was doing it, but there are little pieces of cardboard that were already loose. So you just make sure you pop those out so that these tabs here have a place to go. So then you're going to flip these down, okay? And then your box is ready to go. So tell me, what would you put in these things? I'm looking for ideas. Yes, and it does look watercolor, doesn't it? It has that imperfect look to it. Thank you for saying that. Okay, so let me show you really quickly what I would put in here, because I love giving out cards to people. I think people really need cards, especially now, to give out and send to people. So I feel like this would be a cute little gift to give to someone. And these are our note cards and envelopes. They're a little smaller than if you would cut a regular piece of cardstock, but they already come pre-cut and scored, and they come in a package of 10. So all I did with these was I just stamped the zebra and then a sentiment. So I kept these really, really simple. You could definitely dress them up if you had the designer series paper, you could absolutely put some designer series paper on there and punch out a circle or cut out a circle or any kind of shape and then stamp and pop it up. On this one, because I talked about the bundle that is in the Make Beautiful Things brochure, that one comes with watercolor pencils, and so you can add color to your project as well. And so I used the Crushed Curry Coastal, so these are the watercolor pencils that come with it, and I used the Crushed Curry, the Coastal Cabana, and I used the Gorgeous Grape. And so what I might also do is take my Coastal Cabana, and then you can also just color over the sentiment. So it looks like it's inked up almost, like it's like got a, almost like a wash behind it. So you could just use these on their own. You could color. You could just, again, highlight some of the stamped images. You could have also just kind of gone around the stars instead of coloring in. And then if you wanted to add water, you could use our water painters, or you could use a blender pen just to give it a little bit more of a blended look. But I think that they look fantastic even just like that. So if you wanted to give this as a gift to somebody, you could just pop these in here. They fit perfectly. So I've got 4 each of the note cards and the envelopes, and then you seal this up. And then when you go to decorate, you definitely want to not stick things directly to the box. So we're going to create a belly band. So I'll show you what I did. So this is one sheet of 6x6 designer series paper, and I cut it in half. And this is where your Stampin' Seal Plus is going to come in handy, because you want to make sure that your pieces of designer series paper stick together. So I'm now taking these 3x6 pieces, and I'm putting them together to make a 3x12 piece. And this is going to wrap around quite nicely on the paper pumpkin box, okay? So what I'm gonna do here now is I'm not scoring anything. I'm just going to actually use my fingertips to create a pseudo score line. And I'm not doing it too tight to the box, because this is a belly band, which means we want it to be able to slide on and off. And so I'm not going to actually do it too tight. I'm just kind of rounding over the corners here. And as you are going to pull this off, this corner here is a little bit more sturdy, like it's more rigid. So you don't want to make it too tight to the box, because it won't slide off of this. And you wouldn't want whoever's receiving this to have to kind of rip the box. So now I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus right here. And then I'm going to loosely put this together. So I want to line up my sides here, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit of room, again, like so. That might have been a little too loose, actually. No, that's not bad. So that slides off pretty nicely. You could make it a little bit tighter, but again, like I said, I want it to be able to slide off pretty easily. So I'm going to now stamp, and then we'll put the ribbon on. Where are my stamps? So I'm using the one that says Wild About You. That's this one here. And then I'm going to use this little guy here. And I seem to have lost my black ink. Here we go. Hello, Aviva. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to just ink that up nicely. And I'm going to stick him down here. And then I'm going to use my sentiment that says Wild About You. The sentiments in this are really cute. There's also one that says Kick Up Your Heels. It's time to celebrate. You party animal. I did do these on the note cards. I just love this one. Wild About You. Okay, I think that's it for this stamping. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down onto the belly band, okay? So the front of my box is here. You know, this is where it would open from. So go ahead and stick the Night of Navy cardstock. Now, like I said, you don't want to stick it to the sides of the box. You just want to stick it in the middle. And then before I put on my zebra, I'm going to wrap some of this gorgeous purple posy and white ribbon. So you can see there's a stripe that goes through the middle that's white, and then it's just the softest, almost like it's like a blended look. of the purple posy along the edges. So I'm gonna cut myself quite a bit of ribbon here because I feel like I want some room to work with the bow. Don't cringe at how much ribbon I might have just wasted. I will reuse it. So I'm going to stick this into the middle. And then once I tie that bow, I'm going to tie this a little bit tight. So this will hold my belly band in place because I did probably make it a bit looser than I needed to. So I'm going to just, hold on, let me start that again. I always have a bit of performance anxiety tying bows on a live video. I usually can do this with very little effort. Okay, so you can see that the bow turned out quite nice. I might just kind of hold the knot and pull a little bit because those loops are a bit floppy. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm just going to trim the edges here so that it's not hanging too much over the box. Okay, and then I will use my dimensionals, which are eluding me right now. Okay, we're gonna go, actually I have some more here. Where did my dimensionals go? Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna put one here and one here and stick this down like that. And last but not least, I will put my sentiment again onto, I'm just going to cover a little bit of the zebra. And then you could actually put a smaller, mini dimensional at the back here. Again, not on where it's, you don't want to put it where it's going to be attached to the white circle. You just want to do it on the side so that it's not flipping too much over. And then we're just going to embellish with some of the cute little dots, and then this box will be done. So there is one here. We'll do a purple posy one right about here. And then maybe I will just put one more right about here. All right, so there you have it. So those are the 3 projects. I'll show them to you once again after I move some stuff out of the way. I changed up the designer series paper a little bit on this one just so you could see 2 different options. They're both really cute. I love the tiny little circles, and then also the larger sort of watercolor polka dots are really cute too. So those are the boxes, and then we've got our 2 little cards here. And then we also have the tiny little note cards. All right, so this is our Zany Zebras. I hope that you guys have enjoyed seeing the projects. I hope you enjoyed seeing the products and that you loved them as much as I do. Like I said, if you do want the make and take supplies, if you place an order of $40 or more using this host code, I will send you all of the materials, the cut materials and supplies, including the ribbon, the dots, the paper pumpkin box. You'll also get one of those. I will send that to you. This is, I can send these only in Canada. So if you want to place an order, I will send those to you. And then of course, if your order is $50 or more, you'll also get a free embellishment with that package. So you could essentially order the Zany Zebras Stamp Set and any other coordinating supplies you need. If you wanted the designer series paper and the ribbon, and then you will get all of your other materials you'll get all your other materials for free, and then you'll also get a free embellishment. So I want to thank you so much for joining.